Hello, everybody, and welcome into the NSCLC here in Akron, Ohio for Akron Aviators basketball. As your Akron Aviators get ready to host the Burning River Buckets. The Burning River Buckets, they are the defending co-champions of the ABA. As Akron, they come in 1-1, coming off a win against Team Network last weekend, while the Burning River Buckets, they're off to a slow start at 0-2. Jared, what are you looking forward here tonight?
I'm really looking forward, Nick, for the Aviators to really work on the defensive side of the ball. We've seen them struggle so far in their first two games defensively, especially against the Wizards. So we're really going to see what their defense is made tonight against a tough team.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about defense, but I mean, when you score 180 points like the Aviators did last week, I don't think it matters how much defense you're playing.
It was all led by Deontez May. Deontez May on 66 points, 13 threes, and he really led the way for this Aviators team last week offensively.
No, he definitely did. And the guy that's been the leader for the Buckets so far has been Gabe Kennard, but he is out tonight. That is a huge loss for the Buckets in this game as they look to pick up their first win of the season.
Yeah, that's key for the Buckets. Out with a hand injury, and they're really going to see how much he is for this team, a win or loss situation.
Yeah, and the Aviators, they have never beat the Burning River Buckets in their franchise's history. So they're looking to capture that first ever win against them here tonight. And do you think if they play enough solid defense that they will be able to walk out of here with a win tonight?
I really do. I mean, with the interview I had last week with Deontez May, we talked about like how it was not just him, it was his whole team, passing the ball, sharing the ball, creating that chemistry. And I really think the Aviators do that tonight. They'll be successful against the Buckets.
Because, I mean, offense has not been an issue for the Aviators so far this year. Deontez May, 66 points last week, 32 in the opener. They've also gotten huge performances out of Sam Martin and Frank Barber. So, I mean, it really is a whole true team offensive effort for the Aviators.
Yeah, and it's an exciting matchup here in Week 3 of ABA. I can't wait, Nick.
I can't either. We will be right back here in the NSCLC as we're about ready to start pregame festivities. Yeah. If you can just take it off, yeah. Come back in. Welcome back now here. Welcome back to Akron, Ohio, as we're about ready for more ABA basketball as your Akron Aviators look to improve to 2-1 on the season, while your Burning River Buckets, they look to get their first win of the season as they're coming off losses to the Indiana Lions and the Columbus Wizards. The Columbus Wizards, they also beat Akron, so both these teams have had some tough losses early on, but I feel like at this point this has kind of become a little mini rivalry as these two teams are pretty close to each other in distance. They're both very competitive teams here in the ABA, and we've had some players switch sides, joining one team to another.
Yeah, we have a few former Aviator players on this Burning River Buckets roster, Nick. One of them being their starting guard / forward, Dylan Contento. Last time he played with the Aviators was back in 2020 before COVID hit. Definitely going to be a guy to watch out for. He's starting tonight for the River Buckets. So definitely one of many River Buckets players to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 former Aviators on this Burning River roster. Obviously, both owners know each other very well, so it's a highly anticipated matchup here in Northeast Ohio for both teams' fans.
Yeah, Akron, Ohio, Mentor, Ohio, not that far away. We'll be going to Mentor in the upcoming months in December as well, so not a far drive. Exciting, close matchup.
Yeah, and the Burning River Buckets, they're in their 3rd season now, coming off a championship win last year. Well, co-champions technically with the Indiana Lions after the championship game was canceled. But the Burning River Buckets, since joining the league, they've been very competitive. As in their first year, they won their division, lost in the first round of the Final 8. And obviously last year made the run all the way to the championship game. While the Aviators, They struggled a bit last season, but they really believe that they have the players to make a deep run in the ABA playoffs this year.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to see what they can do in this season, Nick. We've already seen in the first 2 games how offensively electric they are, and looking for them to continue that tonight.
I mean, yeah, the return of Deontez May has obviously been the catalyst for this offense. But, I mean, one guy who I think has been overlooked for this Aviators team is Frank Barber. He makes all the hustle plays, is huge on the offensive glass, and that's one thing that the Aviators really have been great at so far this year is rebounding.
Yeah, Frank Barber, 6'5", out of Central State University, starting tonight as well for the Aviators. Looking for him to really continue his rebounding mark and out for this Aviators team.
And with the rebounding, owner Brian Collins said this offseason that one of his main goals was to get better at rebounding after the team struggled with that last season, and they have. As guys like Frank Barber, Antoine Watson, Zaki Ali, Angel Berlingeri have been huge on the glass so far this season for the Aviators.
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do tonight. As we're just getting finished here with pregame warm-ups, still looking for the reps and get national anthem underway. But we do have some starters, Nick.
Yeah, your starters for your Aviators are number 2, Samuel Martin, number 9, Frank Barber, number 10, Deontez May, number 12, Antoine Watson, and number 21, the captain, David Blanks. For your Burning River Buckets, it's number 4, Anthony Coleman, number 25, Dylan Contento, number 1, Alan Sims, number 7, Sherman Dean, and number 5, Joey Vuyanse.
Can't wait for those starting 5 for each side of this team, Nick, to get set and underway. We're just getting some fist bumps from Deontez May and David Blanks, the captain, before we go underway.
Yeah,
The
and
refs are here. We're going to pause and go right into the national anthem. We'll get started shortly. It's like Richard trying to take the pictures.
We gotta make sure to tell Richard if he's too zoomed in this time. All right, welcome back to the NSCLC. We'll send it over to our sideline reporter, Jared, for an interview with Coach Walker. All right, welcome back. We're about ready for tip-off here in Akron. As the Akron Aviators are taking the court, as it is a great night for some basketball here in Akron.
Beautiful day, Nick, outside today. A little chilly, but looking forward to Aviators basketball.
I am too. Hopefully this game's as exciting and entertaining as it was last week.
Aviators going with the white jerseys today and the blue trim. River Buckets going with the black jerseys and the orange numbers.
And we're about ready for tip-off. Tip-off will go to Burning River. Ball is in the hands of Anthony Coleman. Coleman hands it off to number 1, Alan Sims. Sims jumper, no good. Rebound goes to Burning River. Pump fake. Pass is stolen away by the Aviators. It's David Blanks over to Barber, who can't finish. He wants a foul, doesn't get it. In the hands of Vuyansi. Vuyansi hands it off, ends up back with the Aviators. Barber pushing the pace, going for the layup, and he's going to be fouled by Anthony Coleman on the way up. Barber wanted a foul on that first drive. He gets one here on the second. So John Barber will go to the line. Or Frank Barber, sorry.
Great start for the Aviators, really making the River Buckets turn the ball over early.
First free throw from Barber is good. Second free throw for Frank Barber is also good. So it's an early 2-0 Aviators lead. It's Vuyansi with the ball. Up to Alan Sims. Back to Vuyansi. In the corner to Contento. Driving. He has it knocked away by Blanks. It will remain with Burning River. But the Aviators.
Seems like there was a shot clock issue there.
There was.
And that was a good job by David Blanks to force that.
But the Aviators are getting their hands on everything here early on, not letting any easy passes for Burning River. Inbound goes to Coleman. Coleman launches for 3, no good. Another offensive rebound for Burning River. Shot back up, no good. Rebound back to the Aviators. Up to Deontez May, pull up 3. No good off the back rim. As it's Vuyansi pushing, driving into Blanks. They're going to call an offensive foul as David Blanks draws the charge.
You could just feel the momentum in this gym right now, Nick. All the momentum is on the Aviators side. They're doing a great job of drawing the fouls and making the River Buckets turn the ball over. Early in the first quarter.
So it'll be Blanks to inbound. He inbounds it to Samuel Martin, hands it back off to Blanks. Blanks over to Antoine Watson. Back to Martin. Mid-range jumper, no good, and the tip in by Watson is in, and it's a 4-0 lead for Akron. Vuyansi for 3, no good. Samuel Martin with the rebound. David Blanks with the ball for Akron. Hands it off to Deontez May, who launches for 3. In and out. It's Alan Sims pushing the pace for Burning River. Going for the layup over Watson, and they will call a block on Watson. So Alan Sims, the 6'5" guard out of Oakland City University, will go to the line for Burning River.
Burning River's first free throws of the night.
His first one is good.
Yeah, and that's going to be a key part of this game is who's going to make the most free throws.
Definitely. Second free throw. Nothing but net. So David Blanks slowing it down a bit for Akron. Good defense by Burning River. Over to Frank Barber, out to Martin in the corner. Three-point shot is off target as Antoine Watson with the putback is no good. Down low, Alan Sims, guarded by Martin, launches over him. Rebound Watson, sorry. Deontez May, another three. This one's good, and there is the first three of the night for Deontez May after he had 14 of them last week versus Team Network. You got to think that's the first of many for Deontez May. Already has taken three early on, and it's a 7-2 lead for Akron. So it'll be Anthony Coleman inbounding. He'll get it to Dylan Contento, one of the many former Aviators on this Burning River team. Contento over to Viance. Viance over to Coleman. Coleman driving over Watson. Tough finish for the first field goal for Burning River. Some physical defense as they will call a foul on number 7, Sherman Dean. With 9:22 to go in this first quarter. Already 3 fouls for Burning River, not even 3 minutes into this game. As David Blanks, guarded by, oh, what a pass down low. Antoine Watson for the layup. Fuyansi over to Coleman, to Sims in the corner, driving. Good defense by Frank Barber. But they call a foul. So Alan Sims will go right back to the line for 2 more.
I don't know about that, Nick. It looked like he didn't touch him.
Looked all ball to me, but call goes the way of Burning River. Sims is good from the line. 9-5 game.
We've already seen it very early. Aviators doing a good job of rebounding the ball. It's going to be key in tonight's matchup.
It will be.
On this Burning River Buckets team is over 6 foot.
As Sims 2 for 2 at the line yet again. As pass to the corner, Deontez May, another 3. And it's 12-6 Aviators. You cannot lose sight of Deontez May. As they are trapping Sims in the corner, he's able to get it to Viance as some frustration there from May.
He really wanted that turnover with that double team with David Blanks, and the Aviators almost got it.
As they call a foul on Antoine Watson. Dylan Contento, deep 3, no good. Rebound goes to Herman Dean, shot no good. Deontez May leading the break, pass to Watson who finishes strong. And it's 14-6 Akron. Sims over to Dean. Over to a wide open Viance in the corner. Shot goes over the backboard. So the ball will go back over to Akron as we will have some substitutions here as number 21, Kenneth Proby Jr., number 0, Michael Anderson, and number 6, Jordan Humphrey will check in for Burning River. As Antoine Watson back to Blanks, over to Frank Barber. Barber driving over Joe Clower. No good, but the rebound to Watson and the putback good, and is a 10-point lead for the Aviators. They are getting out to a nice lead here early on. Joe Clower for 3. No good. Rebound to Martin, whose pass is knocked away by Clower. Ball on the ground. Watson picks it up, but it goes through the legs of David Blanks. As we will take a media timeout here at the NSCLC, and we will be right back with Akron Aviators basketball.
I wish my plan had more doctors.
Just the thought of finding a new plan
Gives me a headache.
I'll just write it out.
If you feel like you're settling for your Medicaid plan, but the thought of switching is overwhelming, you may have settleitis.
Settleitis.
Searching. Metal eyelid.
But there is a cure. Switch to Anthem. Anthem has more providers and extra benefits. This open enrollment, choose a Medicaid plan you'll love. Anthem. Visit chooseanthem.com today and put an end to settleitis.
Thanks, voice.
To another fast start. They have a 10-point lead just 4 minutes into this game.
I know it's early, Nick, but I've already seen an amazing defensive improvement from the Aviators. They got to keep pushing the metal to the metal here. They want to increase their lead here early.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing really good defense here early on. That's one thing that last week, the offense was clicking on all cylinders, but the defense wasn't. So far early tonight, it seems like both sides are playing very well.
They're forcing fouls, they're forcing the buckets to make mistakes, and they're doing a great job of that so far up to this point.
As ball will go into Anthony Coleman. Coleman over to Joe Clower. Clower to the corner to Anderson. Three-pointer off back rim, rebounded by David Blanks up to Deontez May, who goes over to Frank Barber for three. He knocks it down, and it's a 13-point Aviator lead. As, the pass goes to nobody, as it'll be a 3D play, as the ball will go back over to the Akron Aviators.
And we talked about it earlier, the 3D rule. If it doesn't get past half court and it's a turnover, it's an extra point. No matter the shot, whether it's a two, if it becomes a three, and
Barber over to Blanks, back to Deontez May, another three, and the Aviators are draining threes early, and that one will actually count for 4, as it's 23-6, as the pass from Burning River goes out of bounds and takes out one of the cameras, as it's 23-6 Akron. Another jumper from May off the front rim. Rebound goes to Jordan Humphrey as Coleman, pump fake, spin move, fadeaway mid-range, knocks it down, 23-8. Frank Barber, good move. Pass goes out to May, but it's tipped, so it will remain with Akron. Aviators have a 15-point lead with 6:43 to go in the first quarter. As I could not tell if that pass was tipped or just inerrant. As Frank Barber driving on the feed from May, tough finish, and it's 25-8 Akron. Oh, what a defensive play by Deontez May, knocking away the pass, jumping at the perfect time. As for the Aviators, number 23, Daniel Williams, as the former Ohio Bruin will check in. Inbound to Joe Clower. Clower over to Jordan Humphrey for three. Knocks it down. As the Buckets cut the deficit to 14. As it's Angel Berlingeri, mid-range jumper. Good touch from the 6'6" Berlingeri. His first 2 points of the night, and it's 27-11. As it'll be a 20-second timeout for Burning River. Yeah, one thing with the Aviators big men, it seems like they all can knock down jumpers too when need be. So they can add size with their rebounds and also step out and hit a jumper.
We talked about it at the top of the broadcast, Nick, rebounding the speed. And we've already seen that from Frank Barber. We've only seen that from Antoine Watson. They're doing a great job for this Aviators team, rebounding and putting it back up for the two.
Definitely. As we will come back from timeout now. It's a 16-point lead for Akron, looking to get their second win of the season, while Burning River still looking for that first. This is not the start that they wanted. So inbound goes to number 7, Sherman Dean. As it's Joe Clower driving, shot no good. The follow-up by Coleman, also no good, as Deontez May pull up from the free throw line. Of course, that's an easy shot for May. As the pass over to Clower, over to Proby. into the corner. It's Dean driving. He'll be fouled by Berlin-Gary on the way up. So it'll be free throws for Sherman Dean III, the former Hiram College Terrier. No, not at all. As Dean's first free throw is good. 29-12 with 5.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Sherman Dean. Second free throw, off target, rebound Berlin-Gary over to Williams. Williams driving right over to Samuel Martin. Martin will be called for a travel. Yeah, he knew it right away. So the ball will go back over to Burning River. Yeah, 20. Sherman Dean driving on Samuel Martin. He will be fouled. So another foul called. This one will be called on Samuel Martin. As now the Aviators, they're kind of getting up there in fouls. They now have 5. Just about halfway to go in this first quarter. First, another free throw from Dean. This one is good. He is 2 for 3 at the line so far. Dean, second free throw. Couple of bounces and in. As Frank Barber pushing the pace over to May, who lays it in for a uncontested layup. As that's what happens when you push the pace, as they're going to get a block call on Frank Barber, as the Burning River Buckets really tried to play fast there, as they basically ran right in to Frank Barber. As John L. Free will check in for Akron. Coleman inbounds to Dean. Dean throws a lob pass down low to Proby. No good. He wants the foul on Berlin-Gary, but won't get it. John L. Free just checked into the game. Oh, what a pass to a cutting Samuel Martin, who lays it up and in. Great court vision by John L. Free. It's Sherman Dean, corner 3 off the back rim. Rebound Samuel Martin. Daniel Williams pushing it, going up for the layup. He's got it. And the lead for Akron is over 20 points. Joe Clower's pass is taken away by Samuel Martin, but they're going to call a travel on Martin as he tried to leave the break. As Dylan Contento will check back in for Burning River. So it'll be a 3D play for Burning River. Ball in the hands of Alan Sims. Back over to Sherman Dean, guarded by John L. Free. As Dean passes, it's knocked away by Williams, but he can't hold on to it. So the ball will go back to Burning River.
And you can see, Nick, the Buckets are getting frustrated with these turnovers and getting these free throws, not connecting with their three-point shots. The momentum is on the Aviators' side right now. You can feel it in this gymnasium, and they're firing on all cylinders right now.
And the ball, I guess, will actually go back to Akron, as apparently was last touched by Burning River. So Deontez May calling for a play. He gets a screen from Williams. And they're going to call an illegal screen on Daniel Williams. Deontez May not happy with the result of that one. As we will take a media timeout, as we will be right back to the Innis CLC with about 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I wish my plan had more doctors.
Just the thought of finding a new plan
Gives me a headache.
I'll just write it out.
If you feel like you're settling for your Medicaid plan, but the thought of switching is overwhelming, you may have settleitis.
Settleitis. Searching metal eyelid.
But there is a cure. Switch to Anthem. Anthem has more providers and extra benefits. This open enrollment, choose a Medicaid plan you'll love. Anthem. Visit chooseanthem.com today and put an end to settleitis.
Thanks, voice.
All right. Welcome back to the NSCLC. Your Akron Aviators are off to another really fast start here in this first quarter as they lead the Burning River Buckets 35-14. Jared, what are your thoughts on how the Aviators have started? So we are back to game action. Alan Sims over to the Sherman Dean in the corner. Wide open three. Knocks it down to make the score 35-17. As Denzel King recently checked in, passes it over to John L. Free, down to Berlin Gary, back out to Free. Pull up from Free, off target. It's Alan Sims with the rebound, pushing the tempo. Pass too far for Jordan Humphrey, as it'll be a 3D play for the Akron Aviators. As Deontez May being trapped at halftime, he's forced to call timeout. As he jokingly says, I'm smarter than that. Actually, probably not so jokingly. I think he meant that. I think Deontez May, he's one of those guys that whatever he picks up, he's just good at. And he's been an elite player in this league. He's played overseas in some really tough leagues in China. So it makes sense that he is just lighting up this league since returning to the Aviators this season. You cannot lose Deontez May at the three-point line, as Team Network, they realized that pretty early on last week. But it did not end up mattering, as he still finished with 66 points. As May shoots over Jordan Humphrey. Off the back rim, rebound to Coleman. Anthony Coleman guarded by Williams. Over to Dylan Contento, what a pass to a cutting Sherman Dean, who is fouled by Berlin Gary, as he just grabbed his arm a bit as he went up. So Sherman Dean will go back to the line. It's a 35-17 game here. As Dean's first free throw rattles around, is no good. He really is. This is already his third time at the line. As his second free throw is good. So 35-18 is your Aviators lead. Daniel Williams over to Denzel King. King pull up three off front rim, as Deontez May able to get the offensive rebound, as possession will remain with the Aviators. Oh, what a move by Lefty. Over to Free in the corner. Fadeaway is an air ball. Williams comes up with the rebound, as his putback is no good. Dylan Contento pushing the pace for the Buckets. Over to Sims, driving. No foul. He wanted one. It ends up in the hands of John L. Free, as now they will call a foul on the Buckets. As Burning River is still upset they did not get a foul on the last possession. So checking back in for Akron is Frank Barber. As John L. Free gets it into Denzel King. King over to Deontez May. May launches. Shot no good. Rebound to Sherman Dean. Dean over to Dylan Contento. Back out to the corner to Humphrey. Shot no good. Rebound John L. Free. Free. No look pass to the corner to Williams. Corner three is good. And your Aviators lead is back up to 20 with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Sherman Dean in the corner, guarded by May. Tough reverse layup as he gets a foul call. They will call John L. Free on the foul. So once again, Sherman Dean finds himself back in the free throw line. Was. So this will be free throw attempts number 7 and 8 in this first quarter for Sherman Dean III. Once again, his first free throw no good. As if you're Dean, if you've been to the line 8 times, you'd like to be able to make more than 4 out of 7 so far, which he is at the line. Absolutely do. So Dean looking to go 1 for 2 again at the line. Second free throw good. He is 5 for 8 at the line in this first quarter. As Denzel King somehow able to get it back to John L. Free cross court, but Free's pass is taken away by Proby. Dylan Contento over to the corner. Good pass down low from Sims to Vuyance, who's able to put the layup in to make it 38-21. Daniel Williams over to lefty. Deontez May with a nice pass down low to Denzel King. Fade away, in and out. 38-21 is your score. As Proby over to Vuyance, out to Contento to the corner. Sherman Dean, corner three. Rebound will go off the hand of John L. Free. Actually, they will say it was last touched. Oh no, it was off the hand of John L. Free, so it will remain with Burning River. Sherman Dean in the corner to Vuyance, swings it over to Contento. Ball in the hands of Sims as Vuyance's wide open as King just fell down. So he's able to convert his second easy layup to make it a 15-point game. As trying to get it down low to Frank Barber, who has an easy layup as your Aviators have 40 points here in this first quarter. Time winding down, just under 25 seconds to go. As Sims loses the ball, but they're going to call a foul on Daniel Williams. As there's been a lot of fouls called here in this first quarter, and a lot of calls that both teams have disagreed with. As Deontez May is getting into it a bit with some of the Burning River buckets. You got to think this competitive spirit is what makes him arguably the most dangerous player in this league. As Alan Sims goes 2 for 2 at the line. It's a 40-25 game as Barber loses the ball. It'll be in the hands of Proby, who will take the easy layup. As it's a 3D play, as it's 40-28 with 6.5 seconds to go. 40-28 as the Aviators will get a chance for a buzzer-beating shot attempt. Inbound to Frank Barber, over to John L. Free. As John L. Free with time winding down. No good, as that will end the first quarter, as it is your Akron Aviators in front, 40-28, and we will be right back at the NSCLC for more Akron Aviators basketball. All right, welcome back to Akron, Ohio, as we are here at the Innis Community Learning Center, as we're about ready for second quarter basketball. As your Akron Aviators are off to another fast start. They have 40 points here in the first quarter. Jared, what are your thoughts on how Akron played in that first quarter? As it's Deontez May with the ball, guarded by Vuyansi, as it knocked away in the hands of Contento. As driving with it is Dean, over to Proby in the wing for the three. Shot off target, rebound Frank Barber, up to Deontez May, pull up three. Off the back rim, rebound John Free, who has it knocked away, ends up back in the hands of May for an easy layup, and the Aviators lead 42-28. Contento to Proby. Sims in the corner. Back to Vianci. 4-3. Knocks it down, and it's an 11-point game as Dylan Contento knocks away the inbound pass. And it's a steal for Burning River. Vianci guarded. Down low to Contento, who lays it up and in for his first points of the game. And the lead that was just over 20 is now down to just 8. What happened, Jared? The Aviators' lead has shrunk from 21 to 8 in a matter of just a few minutes. They're turning the ball over a bit too much right now. They're not playing as calm and collected as they were at the start of this game. So the Aviators coming out of the timeout, hopefully able to regroup and grow this lead back out to what it was. As it'll be Frank Barber to inbound. It's Deontez May for three. As Antoine Watson able to get the miss. But there is a foul on the floor. Ball will remain with Akron. So Deontez May inbounds to Frank Barber. Barber over to Martin in the corner. Off the back rim, rebound Contento. Contento pushing the pace for Burning River. Sherman has it taken away. They will call a jump ball, and the ball will go to Akron. Actually, they will call a foul on Burning River. So David Blanks back into the game for Akron. Deontez May, tough shot as Watson almost came up with the rebound, but he could not. As it's Sims. As the ball is poked away, last touch by Burning River. As we have a four-man substitution for Burning River, as Clower, Humphrey, Coleman, and Anderson will all check in. As Blanks hands it off to Barber. Down low to the big man, Antoine Watson. What a cut and finish. As the Aviators' lead is back up to 10. As Humphrey with an aggressive drive and is able to draw the foul. We saw last game with his dunk. His athleticism is crazy. He has elite hops. So if anyone's going to throw down a nasty dunk in this game, it will be him. As Humphrey's second free throw is no good. As it's Deontez May in the corner for three, off target. Rebound goes out of bounds. Last touch by Burning River. So the Aviators will remain in possession. Probably won't be good.
18 seconds left on the shot clock for the Aviators.
Frank Barber looking for May, able to get it into him. May for three. Off front rim, rebound Anderson. As he'll get it to Contento. Contento over to Coleman for three. A couple of bounces, no good. Clower's putback attempt, also no good. Over to Contento, who knocks down the three from the top of the key. And it is a 6-point game. Dylan Contento, the former Aviator, is good from three. As Barber has it knocked away, gets it back, goes in for the layup and draws the foul. They will call the foul on number 0, Michael Anderson from Southern California. So it's 44-38. It'll be Frank Barber at the line for two. Barber's first free throw, nothing but net. 45-38 with 9:07 to go in this second quarter. Barber free throw number 2 is short. Rebound to Clower. Over to Contento. Up to Coleman. Good move. Drives in for the layup but can't finish. Rebound Antoine Watson. Oh, what a pass by Deontez May over to Watson, who finishes. And the Aviators lead back up to 9. Cross-course pass by Coleman. Over to Clower for three. It's short. He gets his own miss. He puts it right back up. Second free throw, also a little short. So Joe Clower with a couple attempts as Deontez May pulls up. It's off target. Sam Martin able to get the offensive rebound but has it knocked away. And the ball will go back over to Burning River. As inbound to Humphrey, over to Anderson, to a cutting Humphrey, driving and will be fouled. They will call number 21, David Blanks, for the foul. So Jordan Humphrey to the line for two.
Humphrey out of Lake Erie College.
Very close to the home gym of the Burning River Buckets in Mentor in Painesville.
Great college, great university. I wrestled them one time. Great Division II school.
Second free throw from Humphrey, no good. He goes 0 for 2 at the line. As Dylan Contento almost stole the pass away, instead it's Sam Martin for three. As his miss will be no good. Clower with the rebound. Coleman pushing the tempo. Good pass, ends up back to Coleman.
And they're going to call
And
goaltending.
they will get Watson with a goaltend. Deontez May does not agree with that call. As
Referee Martin Bello explained once it hits the
It didn't hit the rim first.
once it hits the backboard, you can't hit the ball.
so David Blanks, the captain, yet to score in this one. As his pass is stolen away by Humphrey, who will take it for an easy layup. As it's a 47-40 game with 7:40 to go. Deontez May being trapped. Over to David Blanks. To Sam Martin in the corner. 4-3. Off back rim. Watson tips it back in. What a putback by Antoine Watson, showing off some of that athleticism. Anthony Coleman driving on David Blanks. Good move. finishes, and the foul. And one for Anthony Coleman, the 6'3" guard out of Edinburgh University. And we will take a media timeout before we take the shot. All right, we are back here in the NSCLC. It's a 49-42 lead for your Akron Aviators as they look to get that second win of the season. As the Aviators, they got off to a very fast start, a 20-plus point lead, but that lead has shrunk more and more over time, and it is now just a 7-point lead. Jared, what do the Aviators need to do to get that lead back up to where it was in that first quarter? As Deontez May, obviously he is the go-to guy scoring. His threes have not been falling today nearly as much. He has three, but he's missed a lot more than he's made. But I think at some point, though, you got to expect that to turn around. Deontez May is not going to be missing threes all night long. So Coleman to convert the and one. His free throw is good. It's 49-43. Just over 7 minutes to go in this second quarter. David Blanks over to Samuel Martin. Martin driving right, off his back foot. A couple of bounces. Contento able to keep it in bounds and get it over to Clower. As Alan Sims fade away from the free throw line. No good. Frank Barber, guarded by Contento. A couple of nice moves, driving and drawing the foul. And Contento can't believe it, as he thinks he is the one who was fouled. Instead, they call it on Contento. I mean, it looks like there was some contact both ways, as in the end it'll be Contento who's called for the foul. So Frank Barber to the line. Barber's first free throw off a couple of bounces is in. As they're going to call a violation. As Watson left the line while Barber already had the ball. And they're going to call another foul on Antoine Watson, who already has 4 early on in this game. 4 early fouls on Antoine Watson, as he will have to go to the bench for an extended amount of time. That is not ideal for the Aviators.
And Watson's got to be careful because if he has 7 fouls, he's out of the game. Different rule in the ABA compared to
So checking in for the first time will be the former DePaul walk-on Josh Ozan for the Aviators. As Sims' second free throw is in. It's a 50-44 game, about halfway through the second quarter. David Blanks to a cutting Samuel Martin, guarded by Vuyansi, fade away. No good, rebound Dylan Contento. Up to Coleman, driving in and finishing off the glass is Anthony Coleman, and it is a 4-point game. Ozan trapped, hands it off to Martin. Over to Frank Barber. He's able to convert and get the Aviators lead back up to 6. Buyansi to Coleman, driving on 2 Aviators defenders, but can't finish. But that leaves Alan Sims wide open for a layup, and it is 52-48 with 5:46 to go. As inbound goes to David Blanks. Blanks trapped, and he's going to turn the ball over to Vianci. That's a 3D play, and we have ourselves a 1-point game. Ozan able to convert the layup. The former walk-on at DePaul has his first points of the night. As Vuyansi over to Coleman, over to a wide open Dylan Contento. Nobody was under the rim to contest that layup from Contento. And they're going to get another foul on Contento. Contento once again disagrees. As Contento will check out, it'll be Proby checking back in. As David Blanks with the ball, still looking for his first points of the night. The former ABA All-Star, as Frank Barber with a tough fadeaway off the front rim, tipped out of bounds by Josh Ozan. As Burning River will have a chance to take the lead, their first lead potentially of the game on this possession. As Sherman Dean launches for 3 and drains it, and the Aviators have allowed the buckets to come all the way back and take the lead. It's 56-54. The Burning River Buckets have their first lead of the night, as we will take a media timeout. We will be right back from the NSCLC. We are back from the NSCLC as the Akron Aviators just took the final timeout of their first half. As the Burning River Buckets have stormed all the way back from trailing by 20 plus to take the lead, as it'll be Samuel Martin for 3 to give the Aviators the lead right back. Anthony Coleman, pump fake, driving, spin move, loses the ball, ends up in the hands of Deontez May. Guarded by Vuyansi, good move for the layup. Tough finish over Vuyansi. Vuyansi over to Alan Sims. Vuyansi for 3, deep 3. Off to the right. Rebound to Josh Ozan. Deontez May driving left, going for the layup. No good, and May is down on the other end of the court as the Burning River have a 5v3, and they will convert easily as Anthony Coleman puts it in to make it a 1-point game, as Deontez May's corner 3 is off the mark. And Burning River will take possession with 3:18 to go here in this second quarter. as they will call another foul on Deontez May. As May will check out for the Aviators. As they're gonna, as the Akron defense able to force a turnover. As John L. Free back into the game for Akron. Being doubled as soon as he passes half court. He's able to get it away to the captain, David Blanks. But Blanks' pass will go off the hand of Free and out of bounds. So the Aviators give it away right back. As Vianci over to Clower in the corner. Back to Dean, who puts up the three. Off the mark, rebound, John L. Free. David Blanks pushing the tempo. Back to Josh Ozan. Ozan guarded by Proby. Ozan launches from the free throw line. Off the mark, rebound of Burning River. Proby is going to be called for a travel. So another turnover. Both teams turn the ball over quite a lot here in this later stages of the second quarter.
Costly turnover for the Buckets. Kenneth Proby Jr., the 6'2" forward out of the University of Toledo.
As Deontez May will check right back in. As David Blanks, guarded by Sherman Dean. Blanks will launch for three. Nothing there on that three, as it's a little too far. As it'll be Vuyansi. Out to Proby in the corner, driving, shoots over Ozan, no foul. But Proby does end up on the floor. John L. Free pushing the tempo, has the ball knocked away by Vuyansi. As we've got a bit of a scoring drought here. Neither team able to put one in offensively. As it'll be Deontez May for three. Off the mark, but rebound John L. Free, who's able to put it back up and in and draws the foul. So he will go to the line and look to convert the and one to get the Aviators lead back to 4. What a great hustle play by John L. Free right there for the Aviators. Free converts the and one, 62-58 with 1:45 to go until halftime. As it'll be Anthony Coleman, corner three, as Blanks struggles to corral the rebound, but he's able to. As Josh Ozan wide open in the corner, dunks it home. As Joe Clower was in the vicinity there. I don't know if you'd say that he dunked on him, but that was pretty close to a poster as Deontez May lays it in on the fast break, and the Aviators are starting to extend that lead a little more. It's back up to 8. 66-58. As Dean is swarmed by May, who comes up with it, takes it on the fast break, and gets the Aviators lead back up to double digits. As the Aviators are playing swarming defense right now, and it's led to a lot of fast break points as Clower puts it off the glass. Coleman able to follow it up with 2 points. As Josh Ozan driving, laying it up, and in over Vuyansi. It's 70-60 with under 20 seconds to go now in the first half. Coleman driving. They're going to call a blocking foul on John L. Free. Basket is good.
And Nick, Aviators are doing a great job of pulling away offensively here in the first half. And Josh Ozan, what a dunk, Nick.
I don't know if you'd call that a poster, but Clower was in the vicinity when he went up for that dunk.
One of many dunks for the Aviators this season.
And Joe Clower is 6'6", and he was still able to elevate over him for that dunk. As it's 70-62, May will take the final shot of the half and put it in. Deontez May, a deep three with time expiring in the first half, and your Akron Aviators will take an 11-point lead into the half. 73-62 is your score, and we will be back for second half basketball at the NSCLC. 6 that he dunked on, too.
Say welcome back on the computer. How long? When it gets to 3 minutes.
There's Coach. Welcome back to the NSCLC as we're about ready for second half basketball. But first, we will head over to Jared, who has Coach Walker ready for an interview. All right, we got about 2 minutes until the second half tips off, as it was a really all-around very good first half for your Akron Aviators, as they put up 73 points. The offense was obviously clicking. The defense in the first quarter was very good, and it got a little shaky, though, towards the second quarter, didn't it, Jared?
Yeah, absolutely, Nick. But like I just said with my interview with Coach Walker, glad that the Aviators were able to finish off strong in the first half. And like you said, continuing doing the good things that they've been doing throughout this game and get the victory over defending champions.
We've seen this game has been a roller coaster. The Aviators got out to that huge lead early. Burning River kept bringing it close, then Aviators would extend. At one point, Akron led by 20. That lead shrunk all the way completely. The Burning River was in the lead at one point in this game. But now the Aviators pulled away. They gave themselves some cushion late in the first half, and now they hold an 11-point lead at halftime, 73-62. What do you think they have to do to pull this one out in the second half?
They definitely got to stop their leading scorer, really got to make sure that you disengage him. And also, we talked about Jermaine Dean Carey getting all those free throws. Got to limit the free throws if you're the Aviators.
No, you definitely do have to limit the free throws. There was a lot of fouls, it felt like, on both sides in that first half. And we've seen a lot of disagreements with the refs, too, from both teams. So, I mean, I wonder if the second half, if the refs will maybe let them play a little bit more, or if they will be just as quick with the whistle as they were in the first half. As with the clock winding down before the start of this third quarter, it's a 73-62 ball game. Burning River will start with the ball, trailing by 11. The famous red, white, and blue ball. I believe there was one ball that was a little too bouncy as well. As before the game, I saw Dylan Contento trying out, bouncing all of the balls to figure out which one he liked the most. And as Contento will inbound it to Sims, and we are underway here in the second half from the Innis CLC. As Sims yet to pick up the ball. He finally does. Driving on May and drawing the foul and finishing over May, an and one opportunity for Alan Sims. As the foul goes on against Deontez May. He does not agree with the call, as I don't think he agrees with many calls that the refs make. As the free throw from Sims is good to convert the and one. So Frank Barber gets the screen from Watson, gives it back over to David Blanks, into the corner, almost runs into his own man, Samuel Martin. As Blanks driving, kicks it out, Barber, 4-3, off the front rim and out. Antoine Watson had it, he falls down, and they will call a foul on Frank Barber. I'm not sure what the call was on. So 2 Aviators now in foul trouble. Hopefully some other Aviators who will get more playing time because of these fouls will be able to step up and make a difference. As Dylan Contento, wide open three, it's short off the front rim as Blanks and Sims get in a little scuffle for that ball there. So Samuel Martin will inbound it to David Blanks. Back over to Martin. Gives it right back to Blanks. Gets a screen from Watson. Watson rolls on the screen, hands it off to John Elfrey, who goes high off the glass but can't finish. Rebound to Voyancy. Over to Anthony Coleman, who, as we mentioned, has 15 points in this game. As Sherman Dean over to Contento. Sherman Dean for three over the big man Watson. Goes in and out. Ends up to David Blanks. Back over to Samuel Martin, who shoots for three. Off the back rim, a little long. Voyancy with the rebound. Up to Sherman Dean, who will take an easy fast break layup in to make it a 6-point game at 73-67. Aviators have yet to score in this third quarter. As David Blanks off the handoff from Watson. His three's no good. Alan Sims in possession of it. Open to Sherman Dean, who's wide open with a high arcing shot. that comes up a little short. So Deontez May guarded by Coleman. Good move. Pull-up jumper is good, and Deontez May gets the Aviators on the board here in the second half. As Sims over to Contento. Back over to Sims. Guarded by John L. Free. Good move. But Free is with him the whole way, and they call a foul. Free does not agree. That looked like some just good defense there from John L. Free as he was with him on every single move that he made. He's frustrated because I think he thinks that he just played some really, really good defense there. As Anthony Coleman gets the inbound. Over to Sherman Dean, who knocks down the mid-range jumper over Martin. As it's 75-69. A nice start for the Buckets in the second half. As May looks for the screen from Watson, guarded by Contento. Launches over Contento, shot no good. Antoine Watson with the rebound, puts it back up and in. Antoine Watson showing why the Aviators need him in this game, and they can't afford him to have any more fouls. Coleman, pump fake. Guarded by Samuel Martin. Coleman drives left, and Watson looked like he had blocked it, but instead they call another goaltend on Antoine Watson. Tough breaks for Watson. Tough breaks for Watson. It remains a 6-point lead for your Aviators, 77-71. As John L. Free over to David Blanks. That hands it off to Sam Martin, guarded by Contento. Pump fake by Blanks. Pass is taken away by Coleman. Coleman has a fast break, and he will finish easily to make it a 4-point game with 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. Corner three, Antoine Watson. Air ball. Ends up in the hands of Vuyansi, who was able to get it over to Dean. Wide open three. No good, and a tough rebound by John L. Free, who was fouled as he came down with it. So the ball will go back to the Aviators. Had 20 points in the season opener for Akron. As it appears that we will take a media timeout. We will be right back here from the NSCLC as the Burning River Buckets look to make it an even closer game.
I wish my plan had more doctors.
Just the thought of finding a new plan
Gives me a headache.
I'll just write it out.
If you feel like you're settling for your Medicaid plan, but the thought of switching is overwhelming, you may have settleitis.
Settleitis. Searching metal eyelid.
But there is a cure. Switch to Anthem. Anthem has more providers and extra benefits. This open enrollment, choose a Medicaid plan you'll love. Anthem. Visit chooseanthem.com today and put an end to settleitis.
Thanks, voice.
And we are back here at the NSCLC. It's been a strong start to the second half for the Burning River Buckets. Jared, what does Akron need to do to take control back of this game? I mean, it seems like this Burning River Buckets team, every time you think they're dead or down by 10 plus, they fight right back and make it a close, interesting game every single time. Got to give credit to Burning River. I mean, obviously Burning River, they're the reigning champs for a reason. This Aviators knew this was not going to be an easy game by any means heading in. I mean, they've never beat them in franchise history. So if you're the Aviators, you got to do whatever you got to do to regroup and get this lead back up to where it was to close the first half. As Samuel Martin's corner three is no good. It's Alan Sims with the rebound. Guarded by Martin. Good tight defense from Martin. Anthony Coleman goes for the reverse layup. It's off the mark. It's Antoine Watson with the rebound to David Blanks, who can't corral the pass. As Samuel Martin, 4-3 is no good. Antoine Watson able to get it back and put it back up and in to get the Aviators lead back up to 6. So Contento has it knocked away by Watson. It will remain with Burning River. 79-73 is your score. Under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Anthony Coleman guarded by John Elfrey. Spin move, fade away from the free throw line. Off the mark, another rebound by Antoine Watson. Deontez May pull up, 4-3. He's fouled and knocks it down. Deontez May with a chance for a 4-point play and a chance to get the Aviators lead back up to 10 points. What a shot, what a play by lefty Deontez May. As the free throw is no good, so the lead will remain 9. As driving is Sims, who gives it off to Proby, who can't finish the layup. Ends up back in the hands for Sim. Coleman, deep three, no good, and Proby with another offensive rebound. And they will call a foul, I believe, on Sam Martin. So the ball will remain with Burning River as Joe Clower will check in for Dylan Contento. As will number 5, Joey Vuyansi. Inbound will go to Vuyansi. Vuyansi, formerly of John Carroll University. As it'll be Coleman who attempts a hook shot. They're going to call another foul. This time on number 21, David Blanks. So at the line is Anthony Coleman, the leading scorer tonight for Burning River. His first free throw off the back rim, a little too strong. Both teams have not hit their free throws at a pace that you would like to in this game, Jared. And there, just like that, 0 for 2 is Anthony Coleman at the line. Samuel Martin, guarded by Clower, driving off his front leg, shot's no good. Vuyansi comes up with the rebound, and another foul will be called. Another one on Samuel Martin. That is already 7 fouls in this third quarter by the Akron Aviators. Joe Clower in the corner, guarded by Watson. Gives it over to Coleman, who drives, can't finish. Deontez May, guarded by 2 men. Throws it up court to John Elfrey. To a wide open David Blanks in the corner. He's a little long. Antoine Watson on the putback, can't get it. And then Blanks able to get Watson's miss and draw the foul. So now David Blanks, who has struggled to get his shot down the last 2 games, but at least he's able to draw the foul and get to the line and get points this way. As Blanks, I mean, he's the smallest man on the court right now, and he's able to get the offensive rebound, make the hustle play, and draw the foul as the Aviators' lead goes back up to 10 points as Blanks hits his first free throw. Blanks goes 2 for 2 at the line. Oh, Watson almost came up with the steal. Instead, it's Joe Clower for 3. And the Aviators have a 3-on-1, and Watson dunks it home. Antoine Watson slams it down, and the Aviators lead is 13 as Kenneth Proby responds on the other end with a 3. 86-76, Proby once again driving. No good, rebound Samuel Martin. Blank slowing the pace, gives it over to Deontez May. May guarded by Vuyansi. And all he has is shot swatted by Joe Clower. The 6'6" man out of Kent State swats May's shot away. Little Austin Carr shout out.
You know I had to do it, Nick.
It's what we grew up on. It's only fair. As Dylan Contento will check back in for Burning River. Daniel Williams will inbound with 7 on the shot clock for Akron. He will try and get it into Deontez May, but it's knocked away by Vuyansi. Ends up in the hands of Contento, who gives it over to Coleman, who finishes the easy layup. And it is an 8-point game, as they are trapping Samuel Martin. Ball ends up in the hands of Daniel Williams. Tough physical defense here for the Burning River Buckets. And driving and one. Daniel Williams looking to convert the 3-point play, and the Aviators lead is back up to 10. Daniel Williams, when he has the ball, he's always going 100 miles per hour to the basket. He never lets up. He's a fast, physical player, not afraid to take a couple hits when he drives into the lane. As the pass from Humphrey is knocked away by Samuel Martin, it will remain with Burning River. And we will take a media timeout. It's your Akron Aviators 89, the Burning River Buckets 78, and we will be right back.
I wish my plan had more doctors.
Just the thought of finding a new plan.
Gives me a headache.
I'll just write it out.
If you feel like you're settling for your Medicaid plan, but the thought of switching is overwhelming, you may have setallitis.
Setallitis. Searching metal eyelid.
But there is a cure. Switch to Anthem. Anthem has more providers and extra benefits. This open enrollment, choose a Medicaid plan you'll love. Anthem. Visit chooseanthem.com today and put an end to setallitis.
Thanks, voice.
All right, welcome back to the NSCLC. The Akron Aviators have an 11-point lead with 3:52 to go here in this third quarter. Jared, is it just me or the Akron Aviators playing with some really great effort in the last few minutes?
Playing with great tempo, great intensity, great momentum, and they're really getting back out to that 20-point lead we saw in the first quarter.
They're on their way. They're on their way. So 89-78, 3:52 to go. Ball will remain with Burning River as they look to chip away at this deficit, as they kind of have done all night. They've chipped away at every single lead the Aviators have gotten out to. As the inbound goes to Sherman Dean, it's Humphrey, guarded by Antoine Watson. Driving, goes off the side of the backboard, and Antoine Watson comes away with it. He's driving. Oh, what a layup! Antoine Watson, the big man, showing off the athleticism. Great defense by Williams, but they call the foul. They'll get him with a block. Daniel Williams continues his great effort all around, as he's not afraid to be physical with his opponents.
Yeah, Williams just hooked his arm a little bit too much on that foul, got a little loose there defensively.
As Sherman Dean rises over, shot no good after a couple bounces. John Elfrey, pull up three. On the other end, nothing but air. Samuel Martin tries to save it but cannot. So the ball will go back over to Burning River. Jordan Humphrey gives it over to Sherman Dean. Sherman Dean double teamed as Contento has his pass knocked away by Daniel Williams, who swatted that pass all the way off the scoreboard.
Yeah, just off the corner there.
So Contento inbounds over to Dean. Long three by Anthony Coleman. Rattles around, it's no good. It's Deontez May. Has his pass tipped away by Dean. In the hands of John L. Free. Free resets. Gives it over to May. And once again, Dean able to get a hand on the pass.
Just a not smart pass there by John L. Free. Robbie Moore
As
with the passes here. Don't want to get any costly.
Burning River will make a couple substitutions. It'll be Vuyansi and Alan Sims checking back in. Antoine Watson, guarded by Contento, gives it away to John L. Free. Gets the screen from Watson. Watson rolls, drives in, and they call him for a charge.
Everyone in this gymnasium, Nick, won at and one, but just drove a little too much to the basket.
And they're going to get, that's now foul number 5 on Antoine Watson.
He's already calling for a sub.
Yeah, he knows he's got to come out.
I don't think they're allowed to yet.
He will not.
Or will they let him sub here?
He will not sub out just yet, but Berlingeri over to the scorer's table to check in. Dylan Contento. Over to Coleman. Coleman driving, trying to finish over 2 defenders. He does. And the foul. Anthony Coleman with a tough finish. And Antoine Watson will check out. Angel Berlingeri will go in.
Looks like we have a little stoppage here. The refs are trying to clean up the floor here so no one slips. Was wondering why everyone was lined up.
Yeah, I was wondering why everyone was on the other side of the court,
Still got a free throw issue.
as Anthony Coleman will look to convert the and one into 3 points and make it a 10-point ball game. Coleman's free throw is off the mark. John L. Free with the rebound. Free, good move, gets it over to May. May guarded by Vuyanse. A couple of good crossovers, driving to his left, loses the ball as he went up for the layup, and the ball will go over to Burning River.
It looks like teams are getting a warning for I'm not sure what. Refs are discussing.
I'm sure it has something to do with the constant bickering back and forth between both the players and the coaches with the referees in this one.
Daniel Williams is going to check out of the game. He's at 4 fouls now, so we now have 3 Aviators, Williams, Watson, and Barber, all with 4 fouls.
As Deontez May guarding Vuyansi. Vuyansi over to Contento, guarded by Berlingeri. Over to Alan Sims. Josh Ozan on him. He rises up for the mid-range jumper. Shot no good. Rebound Samuel Martin. Deontez May launches over. Shot no good. It rattles in and out. They're going to call a foul while the shot was in the air on Angel Berlingeri.
And Dylan Contento is going to get 2 free throw shots. And the players are just confused as we are. Not sure why that's a free throw, Nick.
because at this point, Burning River is in the bonus, and any foul will put them on the line.
Yeah, Aviators had 8 fouls in the first quarter. They now have 8 fouls this quarter as well.
As Contento's first free throw is up and good. Second free throw also good, and it's a 9-point game, 91-82. As Josh Ozan will take the ball up for Akron. The former DePaul walk-on. As a nice pass down low to Samuel Martin, who's able to make a couple nice moves and finish strong. Contento guarded by Berlingeri. As his pass stolen away by John Elfree. Up to Deontez May. Oh, he tries to go behind to Ozan, but Ozan was not ready for it. And they're going to call another charge on Samuel Martin, who looked like he had 2 points, but another charge call against Akron, as you can just tell the frustration is building between Akron and these referees.
You can see it on Coach Walker and the Aviators bench. And Deontez May got a little too fancy there. Really just got to go for the 2-point, but not the highlight reel.
He tried to get that highlight reel with Josh Ozan trailing him. Ozan obviously had a huge dunk earlier in this game. I think Deontez May was trying to set him up for another one right there.
And 49.4 seconds left here in the third quarter. Aviators up 11.
As we want to thank our title sponsor, Anthem. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is now a choice for Ohio Medicaid. Join the plan that plans on everything. Visit anthemohio.com. Also want to give a shout out to Royal Hair Entertainment, 36 North, Grip Spritz, Twisted Caps, Grice Corp, OT Radio, Pick and Roll Records for all their help this season. So 49.4 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's an 11-point lead for the Akron Aviators, 93-82.
As the Buckets are going to inbound the ball here.
It'll be Vujancic. Sherman Dean over to Coleman, guarded by Ozan, driving left baseline. Shot knocked away by Ozan. It will remain with Burning River. Pass down low. It's knocked away by the Aviators. And this time, they force the turnover. Deontez May getting his hands on everything. May guarded by Vujancic. With less than 30 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Deontez May rises. Shot no good, misses right. Vujancic gets out on the break. The pass leads him a little too far. He's able to keep it in bounds. He's able to get it to Sherman Dean, who gives it to Sims, who lays it up and in with time winding down in this third quarter. Less than 5 seconds left. John Elfree trying to drive. Gets it to go as time winds down in the third quarter, and your Akron Aviators will take a 95-84 lead into the fourth quarter. We will be right back for fourth quarter basketball from the NSCLC. right, we are back and about ready for fourth quarter basketball and what should set up to be a very exciting finish here at the NSCLC. Your Akron Aviators have a 95-84 lead as Josh Ozan hands it off to Deontez May. May drives right through the lane and finishes strong to extend the Aviators' lead back up to 13. As Vuyansi over to Coleman. Coleman driving on Berlingeri, gets another shot to go and the foul. Anthony Coleman with another tough finish through contact as he has a chance to convert another and one opportunity. No, he definitely is. He has been just the main source of offense for Burning River in this game, and he is not afraid of finishing through a little contact.
And even though he's listed as 6'3", I think he's a little bit taller because that man is a tank.
He looks, he definitely looks a little bigger than 6'3" on the court.
Because Michael Ryan, who's not here tonight for the buckets, he's the tallest on the team at 6'7". So I would love to see how tall he is.
Coleman unable to convert the and one opportunity. It will remain an 11-point Aviator lead. Deontez May driving left, tough shot, comes up a little short. It's Sims with the rebound. Back over. Coleman gives it back to Sims. Driving baseline, dunks it home. And it's a 9-point game. It's as Alan Sims with his first dunk of the night. As Angel Berlingeri going right at Dylan Contento. Shot comes up no good. He gets his own miss. Back out to Deontez May, off the back rim, no good. So Contento will take it up for Burning River. Gives it over to Sherman Dean. As Coleman, long range three, off the back rim, rebound Berlingeri. Deontez May now being double teamed, gives it off to Ozan. Berlingeri, mid-range jumper, off the back rim yet again. And they're going to call a foul on number 4, Anthony Coleman, I believe. Or no, the foul is actually going to go against the Aviators on John L. Free. He now has 4 fouls. John L. Free does. I mean, Akron, specifically a lot of fouls on the Akron Aviators. Oh, what a pass by Vuyansi, but Proby's unable to finish the layup. Man, what a highlight that would have been if Proby would have been able to finish that layup. As Deontez May gets Akron's lead right back up to 11. Sims in the corner, guarded by May. Sets his feet, puts up a short jumper off the back rim, no good. Oh, John L. Free, they're going to call a travel on John L. Free. So Frank Barber and Antoine Watson will check back in. Antoine Watson with 5, Frank Barber with 4, John L. Free with 4. So 3 of the 5 men on the court for Akron have 4 fouls. As Dylan Contento on the right wing gives it off to Sherman Dean, guarded by John L. Free. Dean rises up, draws the foul, and John L. Free can't believe it. He cannot believe it. Another foul call that Akron just can't believe went that way against them. That's now 5 for John L. Free, as even Coach Walker, he can't believe it anyways. He tells John L. to just keep guarding. As the second free throw from Sherman Dean is good. It's 99-90. with 9 minutes to go here in this game as Frank Barber threw it into a sea of Burning River defenders, but somehow the ball ends up back in the hands of Akron, and Antoine Watson gets the bucket and the foul. He's got a chance to convert the and one and put the Aviators back up 12. Finally, the Aviators get a call to go in favor of them. Antoine's free throw's no good. As pull-up corner jumper by Sherman Dean is good. It's 101-92. Over to Frank Barber in the corner, guarded by Contento. Trying to drive down the baseline. Puts it up! What a finish by Frank Barber. Tough finish. And the Aviator lead is back up to double digits. Coleman driving into the paint. Rises over Barber. Shot no good. Rebound Watson. Deontez May with the ball. May pulls up. Left wing. In and out. As Samuel Martin's got it from the right wing. Knocks down the mid-range jumper. And it's 105-92 Akron. As Martin playing tough physical defense on Dean. Dean drives into two Aviators, but wide open is Vujancic, who can't knock down the three. Oh, but Samuel Martin can't corral the rebound, and it will go out of bounds. So the ball will remain with Burning River as they trail by 13 with 8:10 to go. As Contento inbounds. As his inbounds tipped and it ends up in the hands of Akron. Deontez May with it. Guarded by Anderson. ISOing him. Rises over. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound to the Burning River. It's Vujancic. As he has it stolen away from him by Barber. Over to Watson, who dunks it home. And the Aviators lead is back up to 15. Antoine Watson with a huge slam. Antoine Watson has unreal athleticism, and he continues to show it off for the Akron Aviators as your Aviators now lead 107-92. So it's a 15-point lead, 7:44 to go. The Aviators doing what they need to do to maintain this lead and get their second win of the season so far in this fourth quarter. Yeah, he just did. I do too. I really think it adds a whole nother dynamic to this league. It gives the ABA something unique about it. It makes you feel like you're watching something different than just regular basketball. Yes, definitely. As Dylan Contento with the ball, driving through the Aviator defense, back out to Humphrey, wide open three, knocks it down from the right wing. 108-95 is your score. As Deontez May gets double teamed before he even passes half court, ends up in the hand of Antoine Watson, who goes off the glass, no good. He gets his own miss, puts it back up and in. Antoine Watson has been unstoppable in this second half for the Aviators. Anderson wide open on the left elbow. Off target, Watson ends up with the rebound as Vujancic goes up behind him to knock it away. Ball will remain with Akron. 110-95, and it looks like Burning River will be going into a full court press now to try and get back in this game as quick as possible. Frank Barber driving, easy layup, basically uncontested. Frank Barber puts the Aviators up 17. Nobody picked up Contento, who launches for three, but it goes in and out, and it's 112-95. Oh, what a cross-court pass by Watson to Barber, who is fouled. Antoine Watson with a touchdown pass. Giving me old flashbacks to Kevin Love to LeBron James on the fast break. I mean, he has been a monster on the glass for Akron as Frank Barber's free throw is in after a couple of bounces. And as it'll be a four-man substitution for the Buckets as Clower, Proby, Sims, and Dean will all check in. As the Aviators now lead by 18 points with 6.5 minutes to go. Second free throw from Barber's off the mark. It's Joe Clower with the rebound. Gives it over to Proby, and the pass goes through Clower's hands, ends up with Proby. And the Aviators are able to force a turnover. It's John Elfried leading the break, driving in, and he's blocked by Clower. But they call Clower for the foul. Clower disagrees as more conversations between players and coaches and the referees as they just don't seem to be on the same page tonight.
Yeah, a lot of different fouls have been called by numerous different players. This quarter alone, Aviators hit 3 and buckets.
Free's first free throw is good. I mean, if you look at Joe Clower right now, it looks like he still can't believe that he got called for a foul on that last play. Second free throw is good, and the Aviators' lead is back up to 20 points. Proby over to a wide open Dean. Hits the backboard and then the rim, and the shot rattles out. Over to Anderson, pump fake, drives right, over to Clower, deep three from Joe Clower off the front rim. Rebound, John Elfrey. Over to Barber, lob to Watson! Frank Barber with the lob. Antoine Watson with the slam, his third dunk of the game, and it's a 22-point Aviator lead. Missed corner three by Anderson. Burning River able to get it back, but unable to convert. And the ball will end up back with Akron. Man, Antoine Watson, what a performance. He can jump out of this gym. Watson sets a screen on for May. Oh, he went for another dunk. He went for another dunk, but instead he's fouled on the way up. And Alan Sims can't believe the foul call. As how about this energy from the Aviators team? Deontez May getting the bench, getting the crowd hyped up. As Watson's at the line, his first free throw was no good. Second free throw now, also no good. So it will remain a 23-point lead for Akron with just over 5 minutes to go. As John Elfrey pokes it away from Coleman. Sims to inbound, gets it to Coleman, who Free wanted a foul, doesn't get it. Drives right, Coleman, tough finish. 118-97. As Deontez May with the ball, gets the screen from Watson. And they're going to call a offensive foul. Oh, they're going to call a backcourt violation against Akron. So it'll be a 3D situation. Burning River will take over. It's Coleman, gets the screen, takes the three, goes in and out. Rebound to Samuel Martin. Free over to May. May slowing it down, getting a screen from Barber. Guarded by Coleman, it's another screen. Goes left, driving, hands it off. Antoine Watson with another easy bucket. And it's 120-97. And what a great pass by Deontez May right there. Corner three by Dean is no good. And Dean is limping a bit. Looks like he's got something with his ankle as the Aviators extend their lead to 25. Joe Clower with the ball for Burning River. Has it taken away, but they're going to call a foul on number 2, Antoine Watson. As we will take immediate timeout. We'll be right back at the NSCLC for the final 4 minutes of this game. All right, welcome back into the NSCLC. We have 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter of this a lot of emotions in this game. That's the way to describe it, I'd feel like. Very emotional on both sides. As it's number 4, Coleman driving in. Getting the bucket to go and the foul. It'll be Anthony Coleman, who seems to have found himself in a lot of and one opportunities in this game. So it's 122-99. Oh, sorry, 100. With under 4 minutes to go now. It's Frank Barber from the left elbow. What a move between his legs. It ends up in the hands of Watson. He shoots a corner three and hits it. Antoine Watson, he doesn't just score in the paint. He can knock down the 3-2. Coleman, 3, no good. Rebound Sims, puts it back up and in. 125-102 with over 3 minutes left in this game. Much better defensive effort than the last time out. Another 3 from Watson. This one's no good. As going for the layup is Vuyansi. He's able to finish to make it 125-104. John L. Free, spin move, puts it up and in. Tough finish by John L. Free. Free takes away the inbound pass. It's a 3D play and puts it in. 3 points for the Aviators. They now have 130 in this game. Coleman, guarded by Watson, goes right by him and lays it up and in. 130-106. Coleman steals the inbound pass, puts it up, no good. He draws the foul. And that's John L. Free, his 7th foul, as John L. Free has fouled out of this game.
Give credit to Anthony Coleman. The team's down by 24 points and still going to get the basket.
As it'll be 3 shots for Coleman, while meanwhile Zaki Ali will check in for the first time for the Aviators. Second free throw for Coleman's good, and is now number 32, Christian Harris out of Bethany College, rejoining the Aviators team for this game. Will check in for the first time tonight. 130-108, 2:20 to go. Third free throw from Coleman. He knocks it down. He goes 2 for 3 at the line, and it's 130-109. As Samuel Martin runs right into Watson. Gives it back to him. Watson, pull up. Shot no good off a little left. Rebound is Christian Harris, and he immediately checks in and immediately scores. As the ball will stay with Burning River, despite it looking like it went off. It was last touched by Burning River, but we'll play on as Anthony Coleman finishes strong to make it 132-110. Frank Barber driving in over 2 defenders, finishing! Tough finish by Frank Barber as Dylan Contento is down at the other end. Holding his shin, it looks like, as Frank Barber went flying into the paint. So 24-point game, under 2 minutes to go as Joe Clower will check back in. It'll be Vujicic over to Clower, corner 3, no good. As falling to the ground is Barber. It'll be Alan Sims taking it past half court over to Coleman. Gets a screen from Clower, drives right, loses the ball as he's driving in. And it will remain with Burning River. So 3D will still be on. Corner 3, or Sims in the corner. Pump fakes for 3, hook shot in the paint, no good, rebound Watson. Just over a minute left in this contest. 134-110 is your score. Watson has it poked away. Tries to get it back to Watson, and Clower steals it. Back over to Alan Sims, who dunks it home. And it's 134-112. First dunk of the game for Alan Sims. As the inbound will go across court. What a move from the big man, Zakia Lee. Oh, he wanted the 3. But it's no good. It's in possession of Burning River as the rebound will be tipped away back to the Aviators. Antoine Watson for 3. Oh, he banks it in. And with just under 30 seconds to go, and your Aviators in the lead by 27. As Ali for 3 is he no good. This game is all but over. Here from the NSCLC, your Akron Aviators will improve to 2-1 in the season. They beat the Burning River Buckets for the first time in franchise history. 137-110 is your final score as the Akron Aviators beat the reigning ABA champions. What a game from Antoine Watson. We've known about his potential. We've known about his athleticism. He put it all together tonight in a masterful performance.
It was really great to see him get offensive dunks, really
As now we're about to send it over to Jared for a post-game interview, post-win interview with Coach Walker.
I didn't know that, but that's great. I'm so happy for these guys. They worked tremendously hard. We challenged them all day to step it up defensively, and we did that from beginning to end. We had some parts where we didn't play well, but we got back where we needed to be. I'm really happy with this group of guys. To meet the defending champions, that's a statement win. That's a statement win for the Aviators. Oh man, he was so active from beginning to end. He was getting to the basket. He was getting putbacks. He was playing defense. He even hit a miracle three. I don't know how he did that. I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him. But he's working extremely hard. He's working extremely hard. And I'm just excited to see how good he can be.
Let's talk about not actually your offense getting go to Madison to lose the second second. What's the game plan?
That won't happen again. It's tough to play the same team back to back. They've seen us. They're going to be adjustments and everything. So we're looking forward to that matchup. We're going into that. I'm sure we're going to be a hostile environment. And we look forward to these games now. We're changing the dynamic, changing the culture. So we want these type of games. Thank you. Thank you.
Nick, back to you.
And that's gonna. So the Akron Aviators, they get the 137-110 victory, their first win over the Burning River Buckets in franchise history. Antoine Watson with a great game, and your Akron Aviators are 2-1 now on the season. Your Burning River Buckets, they fall to 0-3, and that's going to wrap it up. We are done here from the NSCLC. We'll be back with you very soon for more Akron Aviators basketball. Have a good night, you guys.